What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Tracy, joined tonight by the man, Brandon Kramer. How we doing, Brandon?
Doing great. How about you?
Can't complain. We are in that very boring stage of spring training. Not that much stuff going on. However, there is one man that's turning heads, and that's Lucas Luetge. However, before we do get on that, everyone be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you do know when we go live every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Daily uploads as well, every day at 12 p.m. Especially once the regular season starts, definitely going to be doing those daily uploads. But yeah, Lucas Luetge. First of all, no one knew who this dude was before spring training started. Second of all, I really hope Baseball Reference is right and his name is pronounced Luetge, because I'll feel like garbage if it's not. But listen, Lucas, I apologize if it's not how you pronounce it. But he's turning heads this spring. I know it's only been like 4 innings pitched, but he hasn't given up any runs. Has he even given up a hit? I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
2 hits. He's given up 2 hits in the 4 innings, but he's had 10 Ks. Like, the dude absolutely came out of nowhere. I believe he only has a spring training invite. He's making the absolute best out of this opportunity. And I would say so far, like, I'm sure you could probably agree with me, he's probably the biggest surprise so far of the spring.
Hands down. Hands down. I mean, this guy came out of absolutely nowhere. I mean, his success comes from his weird arm angle. Like, it kind of reminds me of, like, Ottavino, but it's more up. It's like it's more out there, but it's like across his body, really hard to pick up. It's hell for lefties. Lefty. This guy's going to be a lefty killer. And he throws mid to upper 90s, so he's going to be successful. We just need anyone to we're not going to replicate what Zack Britton did. We just need anyone to just give us some production. We cannot have a repeat of Luis Avalon.
I don't know why we're not going on Luis Avalon here. But speaking of Zack Britton, I know we kind of didn't touch on this in a podcast, but he's going to be out for, like, I think they said 3 to 4 months. He's getting, a bone chip removed from his pitching elbow or something like that.
It makes me wonder why it would take so long.
I have no idea. All I know is that now that Britton's going to be out for the next 3 to 4 months, looking at the Yankees bullpen, it kind of looks a lot worse on paper, especially in the sense of they lose a huge left-handed arm. So maybe, like, if Luetge is the real deal and he could step up in the bullpen this season, he could prove to be a valuable piece. Maybe I don't want to jump to conclusions here, but maybe, like, in late game situations as well, because I'm assuming, like, Tyler Lyons is going to be like that mid-relief option as far as left-handed goes. So and then you got Chapman as the closer. So I don't know, like, if Luetge keeps it up this spring, like, do you agree with me that there's a good chance he could make the opening day roster?
Oh, I think if he keeps pitching like this, it's no doubt he's going to make the opening roster. And if you look at the other arms in the pen, Nick Nelson hasn't given up a run. Nick Nelson's been on fire. I mean, and I've been saying this since last year. Nick Nelson has the stuff to be a very good bullpen arm. He just needs more time. The Yankees got options in there in that farm of good bullpen arms. I don't think it's something too much to worry about, but this also shows that Brian Cashman turning Adam Ottavino into Darren O'Day and Justin Wilson means so much more now. Because then if you think about that, we would just have as a 1, 2, 3, Chapman, Ottavino, and Green. But now we have Chapman, O'Day, Justin Wilson, Nick Nelson, guys like that. It's much more manageable than it was before.
Would you say that going into the season, that Luetge is kind of like an X factor in that bullpen? Because, like, I would say so. It's like we said, like, looking at them on paper, especially with the loss of Zack Britton, they're going to be missing, like, that dominant left-handed arm. And if Luetge could be that guy, that's a huge X factor, bro. It's like the fact that I didn't know who this was a couple of weeks ago. And now we're talking about him in the sense of, like, bro, he could be a replacement for Zack Britton until, like, mid-season. You know what I mean?
And if he pitches well during the regular season, we also have now another weapon in our bullpen. Like, just think about that. It's so weird how we keep getting these guys out of complete nowhere.
No, I was just saying that. It's like, I feel like every spring we enter camp, right? And there's always, like, so many random ass names that we see hop up on that table. And it's like, bro, last season it was Rosell Herrera. Do you remember, like, that dude was an absolute beast all spring, and then, like, COVID happened, that kind of, like, shut him down. But, like, there were serious talks of, like, Rosell Herrera earning himself a bench spot just based on his spring last year. So I think now we're kind of seeing the same situation on the pitching side of things with Luetge, and he doesn't even have to keep this up all spring. I think that if he just stays at a consistent, decent pace, I think that we're definitely looking at him making the opening day roster. I think this decision would have been a lot more difficult for the Yankees if Britton would have remained healthy. But I think now with the absence of Britton, I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but I think Luetge almost becomes a lock in that bullpen.
Yeah, I would say at this rate, he is a lock in that bullpen. It's going to be good. Just got to see if he can continue to keep it up against tough competition. Most important thing is consistently, like his job as a lefty should be to get lefties out. Can he get the righties out at the rate that Britton did? Keep the ball in the park is really all we're asking for. Doesn't matter how you get those 3 outs. Keep that ball in the park and we'll be happy.
Yeah. Do you know last time Luetge pitched in the major leagues?
5 years ago?
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, it's been a
while.
It
was only 1 game with the Mariners. And then he also pitched in 2014 as well, like 12 games. But I mean, bro, like this could be a great comeback story, a really great comeback story. So,
comeback player of the year, Lucas Luetge.
I mean, like, I'm not trying to jump to conclusions here, but like the Yankees have at least 10 players on the roster right now who can win comeback player of the year. Like, I would say the Yankees have the most candidates for comeback player of the year going into 2021. I'm very excited about it. But before we do wrap up the recorded episode today, I kind of do want to just like look at the bullpen on paper and kind of examine like what state we think it's in. And while I look at the bullpen on paper, we're talking like Chapman, Green, O'Day, I totally forgot about Justin Wilson. Why did you not remind me about him?
I said before that we have Justin Wilson and Darren O'Day.
Oh, no, because I'm thinking like on the left-handed side of things. Oh, so like when I mentioned before that we didn't
Wilson's
have like
a righty. No, he's a lefty.
Wilson's a lefty. When I was thinking before about like a late game situation for like a left-handed pitcher, I totally forgot about Justin Wilson. So now, okay, rather than us addressing the bullpen, I think that we should kind of address how important the Justin Wilson signing is now, because I think that like now Wilson can replace Britton's role and Luetge can replace Wilson's role, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes this 10 times more huge for the Yankees. I feel so stupid for forgetting about Wilson before. Now that's a huge acquisition.
Yeah. Brian Cashman turned Adam Ottavino into Justin Wilson and Darren O'Day. And just to a reminder, anyway, Darren O'Day is filthy. Like the swings he got when he pitched, it's just it's laughable. He's an Adam Ottavino that can throw strikes.
No, yeah. Listen, you love to see it. I'm excited to see Luetge for the rest of the spring training. I'm excited to see whether he keeps us up. And even if he doesn't, I still see him making the opening day bullpen. But we're going to have to wait and see. Listen, appreciate you all for stopping by today. I know we haven't been too consistent with the videos lately, but as spring training goes on and it gets closer to the regular season, we're going to hop back on that. It's just a really boring part of the spring. Not much to talk about. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Lives every night, 9 p.m. Daily uploads every day at 12. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Have a good day. Peace.